folks, tonight we have a double header. Two games against a Brazilian individual. So first one I'm white, and this one is a rout. This one is an annihilation. English opening, Sicilian defense, standard development. Things are pretty uneventful till about here. All of a sudden it comes clear to me that my opponent is sort of making some useless moves, like this last one with the rook, and it's allowing me basically to gain a whole lot of space in front of his king. And for the purpose of protecting his king, putting his king in the corner square is a good idea, but not after allowing all these penetrating moves, where it's soon becoming clear. Now I move my king out of the way, and then I decide, wait a minute, this file looks pretty this H file looks pretty undefended. So let's go up the H file. We'll double up our rooks. And where's black going to go? Black's in the middle of the board. So we got a couple exchanges, and it's really clear black's just trying to survive and save its queen, but doesn't really work. So I sacrifice temporarily tonight just to get a extremely powerful attack. And now it's just a matter of technique, in which black is simply going to be outmaneuvered, dominated, and really not left with much of anything. But shockingly, my opponent doesn't resign, even with two queens and two bishops on the board. Perhaps he thinks stalemate will be in the cards, but I'm certainly not going to allow that. So without much further ado, that's checkmate. Okay, the next game, I'm playing black, and I like this defense, this C5 defense, directly attacking the queen pawn. The best move usually is to push, not to take. It's sort of a poison pawn if you take it. So white played that correctly, and this led to a much closer game. Much closer game. So, and these are very sort of unorthodox positions. Black gives up some king safety for a kingside attack, but white did a pretty good job of defending in this case, as opposed to the last game. So a whole lot of maneuvering is going on, a couple exchanges. I'm left with really undeveloped on my queen side here. The the bishop and the rook haven't even come out. So I'm doing anything I can to find ways to maneuver my way in. And now here I feel like I finally got through. So at least I maneuver white's king out of the way, and the king's obviously on the run. But I still have to be very careful, because the defensive pieces are much better positioned than in the last game. So this position starts to heat up. It's really a race who can get to who first. And I get to the other side first, but it's not enough to win the day. So then I'm subjected to some checks and some harassment. The rook is pinned. White's rook is pinned by the bishop, so it's got one piece to keep harassing me. So a couple more harassing moves. We exchange off the queen. I take the piece, and now we're getting into an endgame where white has a very strong pawn formation, even though I'm up the exchange. So here we have another race, and I have to be extremely careful. And So white actually promotes, but white only has 9 seconds left. So I'm running, and luckily time runs out for my Brazilian friend, because I only had a couple more seconds to go. So that's all she wrote.